Alrighty, deck profile time, baby. Welcome to YouTube. We are going to be profiling one of my favorite lists from EX3, Red, Purple, Imperialdramon. A deck that I think has been super underrated right now. I'm really not seeing a lot of this in the meta. I think I've seen it like one time from somebody else out of all the tournaments that I've played in. It's relatively draw and discard dependent, but once you get the right stuff there, you're pretty much just set to sweep. I really, I really enjoy playing this deck. We are going to go through the list, and there's going to be some spicy stuff in here, and I'm going to do my best to give you explanation as to why it's there. So, our eggs for this list. 4 copies of Demimera. Honestly, I think 4 Demimera is probably just the way to go. I've been debating for a while if I want to try a 5th egg. It would probably be a Yaman if I ended up running a 5th egg. But I think just getting the draw one, trash one on deletion with Demimera is a little more important. I'm thoroughly convinced that this is the best purple egg in the game. I don't see why we would soil that with another egg that, in theory, we just don't need. So 4 Demimera is going to do the job perfectly. So the first part is going to be the rookies. So the standard base here is 4 Vmon and 4 Wormmon. These are the most important rookies that you are running in this list. These guys are going to be what help you put everything you need into the discard pile, as well as helping you draw deeper into your deck. So, the on-play of Vmon, you may trash 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits in order to draw 2. Pretty much everything, with the exception of a few things, are free in their traits. All the main pieces in this deck are free, so we can pretty much discard anything. And then just drawing us 2 cards deeper. We're going to be wanting to discard all of the pieces that we need. So it's going to be one of our main 4s and one of our main 5s. And then we'll just be digging for the counterparts of those 4s and 5s. Wormmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a purple or red free or 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name. And discard 1 card with the same requirements. So what this does is, it basically acts like an analog youth, but even a little bit better because it's helping us find more specific stuff and trash more specific stuff. We can use this to find the piece we need and discard the piece that we need in trash. Again, a lot of this deck is going to be just discarding the counterparts of cards in your hand in order for you to be able to combo. These are the main guys you want to see. 90% of the time that I see these guys in the beginning of the game, I'm not evolving in the hatch area. I'm just slamming these guys out. The deeper we can get in, the quicker we can build up the discard, the sooner we can combo. That's my philosophy, at least. So, moving on, the rest of our level 3s, it's pretty easy. We're running 3 copies of Gazi and 1 Psychmon. I had this reversed. I instantly regretted it. Psychmon not super relevant in this format. He's always good to have a 1 of, just in that weird case that it matters. But I definitely don't think you'll need to run more than 1 of Psychmon ever. There are other cards coming out in future sets that are going to replace at least 2 copies of Gazi, or probably just going to end up replacing Psychmon and 2 Gazi and running 1 Gazi and then 3 of the new card. But 3 Gazi is actually pretty good. It's guaranteeing that I can find it. I can use him to evolve in the back. I can just slam him if I need to block some memory. It's really not a bad card to have 3 of, especially just as a place filler. But I'm liking it a lot. I really enjoy this rookie lineup, and I think that this is probably the best I'm going to get it for now. So this is what we're working with. 12 level 3s. Next, we'll move on to the 4s. Perfect. The standard of this deck is 4 Flamedramon and 4 Shawdramon. You'll find that going forward, a lot of the cards that are the staples in this deck are just going to be doing the same thing, but reversing each other. In this case, Flamedramon and Shawdramon pretty much do the exact same thing. You may Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a level 4 purple Digimon card with free in its traits from your trash for its play cost. Shawdramon says the exact same thing, except he says red instead of purple. So again, they just flip-flop each other. One of them is going to find the other. Their second effect is identical. You may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand for its DNA Digivolve cost. It's basically the effect of Gatomon. And then their end of turn is exactly the same thing as Gatomon. End of turn, you can DNA Digivolve. So these guys are detrimental to the combo. I have come to find out you only really need one, depending on your board state. It is obviously way easier and perhaps a little more effective to just have one in hand, one in trash. But we run a few other purple level 4s. So if we have some purple level 4s in play, we can just play a Flamedramon, evolve into a Flamedramon with something else in play, and just Jawgrass that way. We don't need both in that sense. Or we can also, if we have enough memory, we can Flamedramon and then use any purple level 4. It doesn't have to be Shawdra. But Shawdra will allow us to DNA Digivolve at end of turn, so that's why it would be important to make sure you have enough memory. Other than that, these guys search for each other. They basically do the same exact thing. These are the main 8 level 4s that we have. After that, we're running 3 copies of Scatter Mode and 1 copy of regular Izamon just because they're good. They help us dig really deep into the deck. Draw 3, Trash 2 is insane when proccing Scatter Mode. It's going to help us put pretty much everything that we would need into trash, and it's also helping us draw 3 cards deep to find the rest of our pieces. This card is super useful in this deck. And then Izamon, when push comes to shove, he's just good. We can just discard him, put him into play if we have a Scatter Mode in trash, and then we can evolve something else in the Flamedramon and just go off. So we're running 12 level 4s. Moving on to level 5s. You're going to find level 5s are just as easy. There's really not much to talk about here. It is 4 Imperialdramon, 4 Dinobemon. That's it. Those are our level 5s. And again, these are the main staples, and they basically just flip-flop each other. So, Imperialdramon. We can DNA Digivolve into him. We can DNA Digivolve into both of them. Surprise, surprise. When Digivolving, if you DNA Digivolve, you can play a Dinobemon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So we DNA Digivolve into Imperialdramon, we get a free Dinobe from trash. Guess what? Dinobe does the exact same thing, except it says you can play a Imperialdramon from trash. Like I said, they basically just switch each other. On deletion, you can play a Vmon from trash, and on deletion, you can play a Wormmon from trash. Now, the only thing that's really different is their inherited effects. Imperialdramon's inherited effect. During your turn, while this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it gains security attack +1. This is what's going to help us make the Wombo combo truly devastating. And then beyond that, Dinobemon, during your turn, while this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Metal Gray. It's basically Metal Gray, but this deck is going to get so much crazier. We're easily turning a semi-board wipe into a full and complete board wipe using the effect of Dinobe. It gets really gross really fast. These are the only level 5s that we're running. Sometimes it's a little difficult to find both because we need one in trash, one in hand. But, you know, with all the different resources we have to dig, it's not impossible. We find these guys pretty fucking often. So, I'm not seeing a problem with it. I'm not seeing a reason to run any other level 5s besides these 8. Now, this is where some people are going to be a little confused. We're running 4 copies of Dragon Mode and 3 copies of Fighter Mode. A lot of people are wondering why I only run 3 Fighter Mode when he's like the main guy. And the reason is I don't have room for a 4th. If you can make room for the 4th without compromising the structural integrity of the deck, or taking away stuff that is insanely helpful in order to make sure that you continue to combo if you need to, then run 4. Other than that, I have almost no problem finding 3. I think 3 does the job, and, you know, we can probably just, you combo once into this guy, we're probably good. If we're not comboing twice, we're definitely going to be fine. We're going to be good going in 2 times. So there's not really a reason to run 4. After a while, they just kind of become dead draws. But this is one of the most important cards in the deck. Let's talk about Dragon Mode. He has to be at 4. You have to find him in order for everything else to matter. He has to be at 4. You're also going to be bottoming him a lot. So make sure you're running plenty, so you can combo again if you need to. So, Dragon Mode. He DNA Digivolves. When Digivolving? When your DNA Digivolving, your opponent chooses one of their Digimon and deletes the rest. Then Blitz. So, they are picking one of their Digimon to live, and the rest of their stuff gets instantly deleted. And right after that, we can Blitz. So, as long as there's a Dino B in the stack, which 99.99% of the time there will be, we're just going to swing over whatever's left, whether it's tapped or not. Just a really great way to instantly clear a big board. They're going to get a lot of power from swinging with this, even without Fighter Mode, but Fighter Mode's going to make it. When attacking, once per turn, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Then you may Digivolve this Digimon into an Imperialdramon Fighter Mode in your hand for its Digivolution cost. So we're getting a 2000 DP buff, making him at least 14k. The inherited effect of Vmon is going to give us plus 2k. The inherited effect of Wormmon is also going to be giving us Retaliation. So we're just a really scary stack to begin with. So he's swinging for at least 14k. Then we have the ability to go into Fighter Mode. He will cost 2 to Digivolve into if we're evolving into him from Dragon Mode. When Digivolving, you may return one Imperialdramon Dragon Mode from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck to prevent your opponent's security effects from activating for the turn. Which means that we go into this guy, we bottom the Dragon Mode, we're going to negate all their security effects. One thing I want to make very clear about this is this does not say it negates all their options. This says it negates all of their security effects. Options won't activate. Tamers won't get played. Boosts won't get played. Any Digimon with security effects won't happen. No security effects at all. It's really devastating sometimes because the opponent will sometimes just need something to grab onto that they could find in security when we're checking all these security cards. They'll need a memory setter. They'll need, I don't know, they'll need a boost. They'll need something. They're not going to get it when this guy swings. It's super, super good. Always worth bottoming the Dragon Mode, in my opinion. There are very few circumstances where you don't want to just get rid of this. You'll probably find it again. You're not super worried about it. You're going to be able to start the loop again if he dies. You'll be fine. Just bottom deck this. Just stop their security from proccing. You never know what they're going to have. And then on deletion, you can play a Wormmon and a Vmon from your trash without paying their memory costs. So they give us 2 free bodies to start the combo over again. And another thing that's important about this is that since it doesn't say they don't activate, the on-play effects of Wormmon and Vmon are going to activate when they're played. So you're going to be able to dig a little bit deeper, find more pieces you'll need. Even if you're missing some, you're probably going to find them with the two guys coming back into play. So this just helps us loop it over and over again. So even if we're swinging in for 2 checks, even if this guy dies, no sweat. We're good. We can go back into the combo again with all the cards that we're drawing from the combo the first time. We're most likely going to be able to go into the combo again if this guy is deleted. If he's removed from play, deletion is the best thing that we can hope for. So there's a lot of cards like Chaos Degradation, Hydramon, Grandel Soul, Nidhogg. There's a lot of stuff that will remove this from play without deleting it. That is a really bad matchup for us. So we kind of just want to make sure that if he's going to leave, that he's dying. Other than that, these are the main guys in the deck, and the 7 level 6s that we're running. The last Digimon we have in the deck is 1 copy of DeathX. I was playing around with this for so long. I originally tried DeathX, didn't love it. Swapped it out for like Trump Sword, swapped it out for Fly Bullet. And then at the end of the day, nothing was better than DeathX. We started to see a lot more Bloomlord, and DeathX was just there to save the day. Super useful. Again, I think this is a broken card. It just fits in every deck. And there's very few times where I'm disappointed to see him while I'm in like a big pickle. You know? He's just too good to leave out. Especially in this deck where we can actually, if we wanted to, we can evolve a fighter mode or a dragon mode into DeathX. So instead of paying a dumb memory, we can just pay 6. Like flat 6 and just be good. Those are all the Digimon. Moving on to the non-Digimon. We're going to start with our options. The options get a little spicy. We are playing 2 copies of Miss Memory Boost. This is a great way for us to not only grab a little bit of memory, but get some stuff in trash. If you haven't picked up on it, I've said it a million times already, we want to get a lot of stuff in trash. That's going to help make sure that we are definitely able to find all the pieces of the combo. So this will make us trash 2 cards from top of our deck and then draw 1. The trash 2 cards from the top of the deck is the most important thing. I prefer this heavily over Purple Memory Boost, because otherwise we're just putting a bunch of stuff to the bottom. Next, all the rest of our options are one-ofs. So we're running 1 of each of these. Running 1 copy of Night Raid. Sometimes I wish this could be more than 1, but I think this is all we can really afford. Play 1 purple level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't activate. This just gives us a cheaper body if we need one. So instead of having to slam a guy for 3 from our hand, we can play it from trash for 2. So it's a little bit cheaper, and it does the job. If we need another body, this is a cheap way to do it. This sometimes helps us make sure that we're not passing turn. This is a really good card. I think 1 is probably fine. You could maybe justify running 2. But again, you're going to start compromising the structural integrity of the deck. After that, running 1 Deathclaw and 1 Calling from the Darkness. So these are pop sources. We use these to pop the fighter mode in order to re-loop, because that's a really solid way that we win. So Calling lets us get back some pieces that we're missing. So delete 1 of our Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from trash to hand. And then Deathclaw, delete 1 of your Digimon to delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So this can help us pop something if we need to. And again, the main thing though is that we're popping Imperial if we need to. I would love to run more pop sources, but this is really all I have room for. I'm thinking of running Pandemonium Flame. They would just be a spicy way to make sure that we are deleting pretty much anything. So if he has a level 5 blocker, we need to make sure that we are getting through with our last attack, because we are most likely not going to have piercing unless we have like a god hand. But at the same time, we can just do it for one. Why do it for two when we can do it for one? That would be my justification for continuing to run it like this. These are all the options we're running. 5 options, not anything super crazy. Last but not least, our Tamers. We are running 3 copies of Analog Youth. Helps us get really deep into the deck, and when we inevitably pop Imperial, helps us gain memory, hatch eggs, whatever we gotta do. Really good card to have. It helps us dig the deepest out of any of the other stuff that is non-Digimon that we have in the deck. Just really good. I really like this at 3. I think if you really needed to, you can cut it to 2 for other stuff, but honestly, I wouldn't. I think 3 is perfectly fine here. The last 2 cards we're running in the deck, we are running 1 copy of Tai and 1 copy of Matt. I think that is important to have both of these guys. First of all, making sure that it's a little bit more likely you find a memory setter. And then, second of all, they each bring something really important to the table. Tai is obviously a little more important, so if you need to cut one of these 2, you cut Matt. But Tai is going to give our Imperial an extra security check. During your turn, all your red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution cards gain security attack +1. That's going to make him swing for, at his greatest, he'll be swinging for 17k, 3 checks, piercing through something, and no security effects will activate. He just makes the deck even more gross. And then Matt is a really great way to make sure we're getting pieces into our hand from trash that shouldn't really be there. So, that means that we can get back any Imperial that we're missing. We can get back any of the 4 or 5s that we're missing. We find ourselves milling Calling from the Darkness a lot, so this is a great way to get Calling back and making sure we can loop it all over again. Overall, I think this Tamer lineup is really solid. I don't plan on messing with it very much. That is the entire profile for Red, Purple, Imperialdramon. It's a list I'm really enjoying so far. I hope a lot more people decide to put this list together. It's been a little frustrating at times, but once you get the kinks out, it's a dumb fun deck to run. I highly, highly recommend that people give this list a try. After that, what you want to do with it is up to you. You can get a little spicy with it, but as long as you keep all the bones there, as long as you keep all the Vmons, the Wormmons, the Flamedramons, Shadramons, Dino Bees, and Pyldramons, and obviously the Imperials, you're free to do whatever you want with the rest. But yeah, that is the profile, boys. I appreciate all y'all for being here, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one.